Hello students, welcome to the class on comparatives and superlatives. What are comparatives? Comparatives are used to compare two objects on the basis of quality or action. So suppose we have two objects and we are trying to compare something between them. That is where we would start using comparatives. Now, you can compare either qualities or actions, and thus comparatives can be either adverbs or adjectives, right? So this is a basic fundamental that you need to remember. Next we move to a second funda. This is one of the most important rules that you need to remember, that you can only compare similar objects. This is one kind of question that has been asked a lot of times across various banking examinations. An example over here would be, his house is bigger than me. The sentence is grammatically incorrect because over here someone's house is being compared to someone's personality. That means the comparison itself is flawed. Why? Because there is a comparison being done between a non-living entity and a living entity. You can only compare similar qualities between a same person. That means I can always say he is more intelligent than she is beautiful. I cannot say this because what I am doing over here is I am comparing someone's intelligence to someone being beautiful, which is logically incorrect. Next, we'll move on to revising these concepts. In a nutshell, remember, you can only compare one quality or action distributed across two or more people. In other words, I can say he is faster than her. Over here we have two people, he and her, and the quality that is being compared is only one. Or else what I can do is I can compare two qualities within the same person. That means if I want to compare someone's intelligence to someone being beautiful, how I would write it as, he is more intelligent than beautiful. How do we make comparatives? We make comparatives by adding er at the end of the words. Example could be fast, faster, and high being converted to its superlative form by writing er at the end of the word, which translates to higher. Or else I can do is by adding more before the words. So I don't say she is beautifuler than her, I say she is more beautiful than her. Comparison of adjective, one syllable adjective adds er for the comparative and est for the superlative. In the coming few slides, we will understand how do we make comparatives and superlatives. This is a small example of how do we make comparatives and superlatives for different words. We use more and most with two syllable adjectives, not ending with in y and with longer ones. Again, I have given you a couple of words with their comparative forms and superlative forms. Two syllable adjectives ending in consonant plus y. What do? Is we drop the y and add ier or iest for their respective comparatives and superlatives form. Examples could be busy, busier, busiest. If you see, busy ends with y, so what I have done is I have dropped y and I have added ier for its comparative form and I have added iest for its superlative form. Adjectives ending in e, what we need to do is we need to add r or st. Examples are finer, safest, larger. For adjectives which end in consonant plus y, what we do is we drop y and add ier or iest. Examples are lovelier, luckiest and prettier. For adjectives that end in a single vowel plus single consonant, what we do is we double the consonant. Examples are fitter, sadder, thinner, wettest, hottest. Some adverbs have the same form as adjective, they add er or est. Examples are earlier, fastest, harder, highest. Important point, many adverbs are an adjective plus ly. They form the comparative and superlative with more and most. Example, more easily, most carefully, more slowly. There are some exceptions to these rules. We count them into irregular forms. Examples are good, well. Their comparative forms are better and the superlative form is best. An equal example is far. The comparative is farther, farthest. We can use elder, eldest instead of older and oldest people for people in the same family. I'll focus on this rule in the coming slides. What are superlatives? So superlatives are always preceded by definite article the. An example is he is the fastest person in the class. Now what I have done is I've used the superlative form of fast, which is fastest, and thus I had to attach a definite article the before it. We use as, dash, as to say that things are equal or unequal. Examples, our house is as big as yours. That means the two houses are similar in size. It is not as cold as yesterday. We often use a phrase with than after a comparison. Example is the statement, the steak is more expensive than the fish. After then we use an object pronoun or a subject pronoun plus a verb. She is older than me, or else she is older than I am. I've given this rule. We normally use the before a superlative. How do we use one of? This is very important again for banking examinations. I always say he is one of the best lawyers. So lawyers would be in plural. One would make it singular. After a superlative, we can use in or of. We use in with places and groups of people. The example could be, it is the coolest hotel in Oxford. Who is the best player in the team? August is the hottest month of the year. Less and least are the opposites of more and most. We use them with both long and short words. Examples, I am the least musical person in the world. I go out less often these days. We can modify the comparative with much, a lot, far, slightly, a bit. Example, it is much faster by tube. Business is a bit better this year. I got up far later than usually. This is again important when something is increasing all the time. We use a double comparative. An example could be the queue was getting longer and longer. Everything gets more and more expensive these days. Again, an important rule, we use two comparatives with the to express that a change in one thing goes with a change in another. The sooner we leave, the sooner we will get there. So we're comparing two things. So what we need to do is we need to see that a change in one thing goes with a change in another. The faster the better is one more example. Let's move to the most important part of this session. Suppose we have two statements. The first statement says Ganges is holier than all the rivers in the country. And the second statement says Ganges is the holiest river among all the rivers in the country. Wait for 2 minutes and try to find out which one is wrong. Are both the statements wrong or are both the statements correct? Now this is a session, so I'll move ahead. If you remember, comparatives compare. Always and always remember this. That means the holiness of Ganges is compared with all the other. Focus on the word other rivers in the country. The sentence quotes all the rivers. That means the holiness of Ganges is compared with all the rivers including Ganges, which is logically flawed. You cannot compare a thing within that thing. So what do we get out of this? That in the comparative set we need to get Ganges out of the second set, because the comparison can only be done between one set and a different set. So the objective is to remove Ganges from the second set. How do we do this? We rewrite the sentence in the following way. Ganges is holier than all the other rivers in the country. Now if I write other, what I have done is I have removed Ganges from that set. Remember, banking exams have often asked questions on this variety and they are very easy marks. Remember these rules as well. Positive comparison, use as, then put that quality in the dash and then as. He is as good as my sister. For negative comparison, you write so, then the word, then as. He is not so good as my sister. The couple of words which are confused a lot and are used in comparatives and superlatives, these are easy numbers. Later is used to denote in terms of time, while latter is used to denote the second of the two when the sentence is talking about two things. Elder versus older. Whenever there is a comparison within the family, we use elder. Whenever there is a comparison outside the family, we use older. Farther versus further. Farther is used to denote physical distance, while further is used to denote the next step. Last pointers. Remember, several words like unique, perfect do not have any comparatives and are used in superlative sense. Whenever the sentence is talking about two people, only two people, you need to use comparative. An example is between A and B. B is faster. We will not say B is fastest. Alright.